Welcome to Yoga for Health and Joy. This class today is Yoga for Happy Hips. I mean yoga for greater hip mobility. So today's class we're going to focus on our hips. And if you sit a lot or drive a lot, like a lot of us do, this class is for you. My name is Patricia Becker. I'm your yoga instructor and I'm also a diet coach. And we are going to talk about getting those hips open so you can have greater ease when you're walking, so you can have better posture, perhaps even relieve some lower back pain, and just feel more freedom in your whole body. When your hips are scrunched, your emotions get scrunched, and we hold a lot of emotions in our hip area. So we're going to free it up. So I'd like you to go ahead and take a moment, settle into your breath, settle into your body, close your eyes just for a moment, take a couple of slow, deep breaths. Okay, now we've arrived. So we're going to begin in downward facing dog. So, stretch out on your mat in downward facing dog, please. Stretch it out, way out. And then bend your knees and slowly walk up to the top of your mat. Press down through your legs and inhale your arms way up to the sky. Stretch way up. Exhale your hands down. And we're going to start off with some easy hip circles, or as we've been calling it here in the preparation, the Macarena. Motion is a lotion, so just warm up your hips. Get the synovial fluid moving the opposite way as when you're walking or swimming or bicycling, it's going around. So make some big circles. You'll feel some stretches in your outer hips as well. And then we're going to go the other way. So whenever you're doing the Macarena at the parties, you're giving yourself some nice hip motion. And motion is the lotion. Got to keep it moving as long as we live. We don't want to get stiff or tight. And we're going to relieve all that stiffness and tightness here and now. So we're going to do some sun salutations with the focusing on deep hip flexor muscles. So come to the top of your mat, root down through your legs, inhale your arms way up to the sky, stretch as tall as you can from the rooting down of your legs, and then exhale, bow all the way forward. And please step your left leg back, take your left knee down, and you want to stack your knee right up over your ankle. Push your hands on your thigh, nice and close into your torso. Press your thigh muscles down into the bones. They love this. Now pick up your left knee and take it back a little further and then drag it forward. So you take it back and then drag it forward, and on the inside of your left thigh you should feel a nice deep hip flexor muscle opening. It's a big group of muscles here that really don't get stretched out too much, but this is a nice way to stretch them out. So you can keep pressing down, keep your knee right up over your ankle, and then inhale your arms way up to the sky, press down. And exhale your hands down. Step your right leg back, downward facing dog. And we'll just take a little vinyasa here. Inhale to plank pose, top of a push-up. Bend your elbows and slowly come down. Pull your belly forward, heart forward, draw your shoulders back, cobra pose. And then exhale back down. Tuck your toes, slide your hands back, lift up your thighs, lift up your chest, lift up your back. Up and back, down dog. Inhale your left leg way up to the sky. Bend your left knee, stack your left hip over your right hip. And lift your left leg up from the inner thigh. And then wiggle your toes. Square your hips, straighten your leg with a big kick. Step your left leg foot in between your hands, take your right knee down. Stack your left knee right up over your left ankle. Take your right knee back a little further. Push your muscles down into the bones. They love this. It's very comforting. Feel those muscles pressing into the bones. And then your knee, you can take it back a little further and then drag it forward isometrically to the front, and you feel a nice, deep stretch here. It's so nice to access those muscles and free them up. Give them some life. And then root down through your legs. Inhale your arms way up to the sky. And hands down. Straighten your right leg. Press into your left foot to step your right on up. Root down through your legs as we inhale right back up to the sky. Stretch way up. Exhale your hands down nice and wide. And we'll do it again. Inhale way up. Hinge at the hips, fold forward. And step your right leg back this time, right knee down. And then take that right knee back, drag it forward. Press your thigh down. Take your hands nice and close to your torso. Take your sides, your waist back, sides, your throat back. Square your hips. And then inhale way up. And hands down. We're going to step back into down dog. And inhale to a plank pose, top of a push-up. Shrug your shoulders away from your ears, bend your elbows, and slowly come down. Press the tops of your feet down, squeeze your legs in, pull your belly forward, draw your shoulders back. And here for bonus points, turn up the corners of your mouth for a hint of a smile or a full-on smile. And exhale down. Tuck your toes, lift up your shins, lift up your chest, and up the plank, down dog. From your inner right thigh, take your right leg way up to the sky. Bend your right knee, stack your right hip over your left hip, and then lift your leg up higher from the inner thigh. And then square your hips, and with a big kick, step your right foot in between your hand, left knee down. Drag your left knee to the front, and then take it back, and then drag it again. Root down through your legs, root down through your right thigh, side your waist back, side your throat back, and inhale your arms up. And hands down. Straighten your right leg, and step your left foot up to meet your right. Root down, inhale all the way. Exhale your hands down. We are going to do a couple of standing hip openers. So your hips have actions like this and like this, like this and like this. So we're going to do all of them standing. So please stand firmly on your left leg. A little bit of balancing here. This brings stability also to your lower back. So pick up your right leg, hold onto your right leg with your right shin, and then take your right leg out. And then you can take it out a little bit more with your hand, draw your tailbone in and lift. Back through center, change hands, and then take your leg across the front of your torso. And then back, and then you can hold it, lift it up, take your left thigh back, it tends to jut forward, and then take your hand behind you. Your leg behind you, your hand behind you. Push your hand into your foot into your hand, and you can stretch tall. And then if you feel like it, you can take it into baby dancer by melting your heart forward, kicking your foot up to the sky. And then come on down. And we get to do the same thing on the other side. And stand on your right leg, squeeze your right kneecap, and please pick up your left foot, left leg. And you'll notice again, this leg starts to jut forward as soon as you do that. So press it back, scoop your left sit bone under more. And then you can put your hand on your hip, open it up. Open it way up. Bring it back through center. Change your hands and take your hip and your leg, whoopsie daisy, in front of you. Woo. And then back. Lift it up. And then we'll take it behind us. Press the hand into the foot into the hand, stretching tall. And then lean forward, melt your heart towards the earth, kick your foot up. A baby Nataraja, baby dancer pose. And come on up. And we'll release all that. Now we're going to do frog pose. So come back to the top of your mat. Inhale your arms way up. And exhale, fold forward, please. And step your left leg back, left knee down. And then right knee down. Take your knees out to the edges of your mat, please. Take your shins and your feet with you. And you're going to come down to your forearms. This is an intense stretch on your inner thighs, and we don't access those muscles too much. So you want to follow the Goldilocks principles here. Not too much, not too little, just right. Squeeze your belly muscles. Pay attention to what's going on in your inner thighs. You can stay here, you can start sliding your legs out little by little. Keep breathing. So Albert Einstein says, play is the highest form of research. So I always feel like we're playing, like a kid playing in the frog pose with skillful play. So breathe and let gravity help you open it up. Squeeze your belly muscles, see what happens. Now research and see what happens if you lift your tail up. What happens in your body. And then tuck it down a little bit. And then walk your hands up, put your legs in. Okay, that's a big stretch. So now, when you're sitting like this, you're giving yourself an internal rotation. So you can sit on your feet, or also maybe you want to sit on a block, or maybe you want to sit on 2 blocks. See what's right for you. If you don't need a block, then you can take your blocks away and set your butt down in between your feet. Scooch your feet nice and close to your hips. And this is a nice internal rotation. Virasana, this is called hero pose. You want to make sure your knees feel okay. You can actually lift up your knee and get a hold of the muscles and take them back. Lift up the other one, take your knees back. And then to protect all this, including your knees, you want to really activate your feet. Press your feet down. Inhale. Just going to take another breath here before we go back to frog pose. Okay, let's go back to frog pose. Come on up to your forearms and take your knees apart. Shins go with it. And then slowly by slowly, slide your knees out. Second time around, it should open a teeny bit more. And if you do it a third time, it'll open a teeny bit more. And if you do it every day, wow, you're really going to have open hips. Greater freedom. Find a new ease in your walking. Really feels great. And then we are going to come on up. Root your hands down and bring your legs back together. Okay, we're going to go back to Virasana, hero pose. Same way like this. So for some reason, this pose just happens to be easy for me. Some people, it's not. Some poses that are easy for them aren't for me. So if this isn't easy to sit down like this, again, you can sit on a block. Okay, so that's the option. I'm going to show you this way. So you're down, Virasana hero pose. Now maybe on a block, You can still be on the block, come back to your forearms. Scooching your sit bone down towards your knees, pressing your feet down. You want to have your feet straight back, make sure they're not sickling. And then maybe you can come down even further, Supta Virasana. This is a nice, deep hip opener, quadricep stretch. And then, you know, if you can do this, that's great. If you can't do it, you're still a good person. And you can use blankets and blocks to prop you up. I use it with my clients. You just use a block and a blanket. Get yourself a little cozy here. Prop it up whatever way feels good so you get the nice hip opener. And that Supta Virasana pose is also very good for digestion. It's also considered, this pose here is considered, according to BKS Iyengar, who wrote Light on Yoga, one of the third most beneficial poses there is. It's very wonderful. It's even wonderful working towards it. I just love this pose. And the way you come out of it is you root down through your legs, root down through your arms, and you lead right back up through the center. And then since you've been on your feet, you want to take a down dog and bring blood back into your feet. Stretch it out in your down dog. And then bend both knees, lift your sit bones higher to the sky. And see if you can imagine taking your sit bones apart here, or maybe you can actually take your sit bones apart with your knees bent. Create space in your hips, and then keep that space in your hips as you slowly press the tops of your thighs back, and then you stretch out the backs of your legs. And then we're going to do Pigeon Pose. So take your right knee to your right wrist, please. Right knee to your right wrist, scooch your left leg back. And then I recommend you stay up on your toes behind you. And that leg is powerful to help you open up your left inner thigh. Tack your right hip back, left hip forward. And you can crawl up on your legs, or you can also use blocks. This is the variation. Balance yourself like this if you'd like. So, this is a deep, wonderful hip opener. Square your hips. So you take your right hip back, left hip forward, and then you get space in your inner thigh, and then scooch it back. You keep doing the same thing. Scooch, space. Take your leg back a teeny bit more, and you keep doing the same actions, contracting, expanding, inhaling, exhaling. And now you can sit down on your right tush, swing your left leg all the way around, and get a hold of your left foot with your hands. Press your hand into your foot in your hand, lift your lower back up, lift tall through your spine. And then here's a nice hip opener. Take your knee underneath your armpit. So try not to take it way out, but try to take it in closer. You get a deeper hip opener. Now wrap your leg behind your head. Just kidding. So this should be quite active. You're really pressing your hand into your foot, so if you let go, it would go boing like that. Now, we're going to do baby cradle. We're going to do a variation. This is the Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania variation. That's where I was born, in the suburbs there. This is called the forklift variation. So you lift your shin up and in, up and in. Lift up your lower back and breathe. And then you rock your baby. And you feel a nice hip stretch on your outer left hip. Keep lifting your spine as long as you can. And then get a hold of your foot and swing it back, all the way back into down dog. Stretch it back, down dog. And left knee to your left ankle, scoot your right leg back. And come on up, lift up your lower belly, lift up through your spine, shoulders back. And again, if you want to use the blocks to help you lift yourself up, that's fine. And then square your hips, tack your right hip forward, left hip back, and then open it up. Imagine your hips are coming apart on the inside. Apart. Scoop your tailbone down, lift up through your heart. And keep breathing. And you use this back leg's powerful to help you hug to the center, activate your muscles, and see if you can take it apart a little bit more. And then back a little bit more. Scoop your left sit bone under. And we hold a lot of emotion in our hips. So this is so freeing. You start to feel lighter and easier in your emotions as well as your body. And then we're going to sit down on our left buttock and swing the right leg around. And get a hold of your right foot. And press your hand, your foot in your hand, and then start taking your knee underneath your armpit. We do a lot of sitting. This makes the remedy for too much sitting and too much driving, opening up the hips, making you feel better in your spine, in your posture, in your walking, in your lower back, everywhere feels better. So I showed you the forklift variation on that leg. This leg I'll show you baby cradle, so you get a hold of your foot. If you can, you take your foot in the crook of your elbow and then lift it up and in. And here it's really important to flare your toes and push out through the mound of your big toe so your foot's not sickling. And then we do the baby cradle. And we still get that same stretch, even if you're doing the forklift variation. Okay. And then we'll release the foot and we'll come on down. And we are going to I'm going to show you and you're going to practice along. I hope you have a nice yoga block. It's always good to have 1 or 2 yoga blocks with you. So we're going to lie down, lift up your hips and place this yoga block right underneath your sacrum. And it should feel supportive, feel good. You don't want to have it too much on your lower lumbar area. You want to have it on your sacrum area. Now, from here, stretch one leg long, and then stretch the other leg long. It's a nice hip flexor opening. You want to keep your legs active and straight out rather than letting them fall out on this one. That's just a nice release, your hips are supported and your legs are stretched straight out. If you feel like it, you can stretch your arms overhead too. Take a couple of slow, deep breaths here. And then root your arms down, bend one leg and then the other. You can always stay here as long as you want. And if you know somebody who has tight hips, you might want to share this program with them. And then we're going to roll to the side. I'm going to give you another pose. We're going to do Baddha Konasana. So this is, put the soles of your feet together and hold on to your feet, lift your sacrum in and up. And then in the kids' classes, we say this is a butterfly pose. So open your knees. So you don't put your hands on there and force anything. Yoga's about feeling good, moving little by little with your breath. No forcing. There should be no pain in yoga, ever, 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 ever. If you have pain, immediately you want to come out and make your adjustments, micro adjustments. Maybe it's just a little thing you need to change. And then you can stay right here like this, or you can take your belly button to your spine, round your back, and start folding forward over your legs. And still pulsing your legs down, opening up your inner thighs. And then come on up. And then to be nice to your legs, take your hands to the outside of your knees and bring them back up. And then we're going to lie down again. And we're going to do that same pose, Baddha Konasana, supine variation. And then we're going to give it a little support with your blocks. So go ahead and take the soles of your feet together. And if your knees don't come all the way down, just use these blocks to prop it up. Curl your shoulders up behind your heart. Let your arms fall open. And then again, you have different stages. Find a place where you get a little bit of opening, but not too much. Take some slow, deep breaths. Let gravity open your inner hips, your inner thighs. And I hope you enjoyed this class. And the question of the day is, what's your favorite hip opener? So please let us know. I'm putting these shows also on Facebook now, so you can share it in the comments section on Facebook or on YouTube, or if you're watching it on public access, my website's there. You can let me know there. We build community and get healthier and more joyous every day, every yoga practice. You can come out whenever you'd like. And from my heart to yours and my happy hips to yours, namaste.